If you'd like to create a dependent drop-down list like this, let's say for example, if you select US, get only US states, and then on the US states, Florida, you get only Florida. And let's say if you change to India, you can get Indian states, and on the Indian state, this particular state, these are the cities. Stay tuned, I'll show you how this is done. We'll start off by creating the pull down for the country, and basically we'll be working with this here. So anything in yellow here, this is your raw data. You can see there's repeated data and all that, and the blue is my preparatory data point where I will filter and create unique tables and dynamic arrays. Let me show you what I mean by this. Let's say for example in country, I want to get a list of country that's unique on all this column here. Basically I'll say equal to unique like that, and the first argument would be the array of data for the country itself. Close parenthesis, hit enter. You can see that in this whole column from A14 all the way down, the unique countries are US and India, and you can use this to associate as a pull down data points for country here. So you go to data here, data tools, data validation, and allow. You're gonna select list, and you're gonna click on this button here, and then basically select D14 here like this, and right after D14 you're gonna put a pound here. Let me show you what pound does. I'm gonna hit enter and enter one more time to accept it. Now of course there's only 2 entries here, and in pull down menu you can see 2 entries here, but the power of pound is this. Let's say for example if you have a brand new country called China like that, you can see that this data for the country has added one more entry here for China. And if you look at this pull down here, obviously you get updated. See, that's the beauty of this pound here. If you put a pound, which means it's a dynamic array, and there's a potential that it will grow. So I'm just gonna put it back to normal, and you have 2 countries and 2 countries. I'm gonna select US like this. So the next thing I'll do would be to work with the state. Well, state will be dependent on the country. So basically, you're going to have to use a function called filter. The first argument will be a data point filter, which is going to be country and state. I'm going to select everything here, and then I'm going to put comma. The second argument would be a condition. So the condition is that the country has to be state, so that you can get, sorry, a country has to be one of this country here, from this here, this country B2, so that it can only display the states. Let me show you what I mean by that. So basically you're going to say all the countries from A14 all the way down to the very last one, and then go all the way up again, and then you're going to say equal to the country here, as in B2, which is the user selected. Then you display and make it part of the list. And I'm just going to show you what this produces. This produces 2 columns, obviously, because now you have selected US, and if you say India, you can see it changes. But that's not what you want. You want only column number 2 here. So you're gonna have to surround this with another function called index like this. And the first argument will be the filter itself. Second argument is for row number. We're not gonna use any row number. What we want is actually the second column itself, which is this one here. So I'm gonna close parenthesis and hit enter. And you can see it's only showing any states in India. So if I were to change this to US, it will show all the states in US. But you can see that that's a repetition of data, right? So we don't want that. So obviously what we're going to do is to use the famous unique function here like this. So what unique function does is that it only shows distinct values here. Let me show you what it does. Hit enter. You can see it's consolidated all the repeated states and make it into unique. Now we can use this data on our pull down here. Let's select B3 here, go to data, data tools, data validation. In here on allow, we're going to use list like before. On the source, click on this icon here, and on this, like we did with the country, you're going to click on the very first data point here like this, and they're going to place a pound here like this, because this has the potential to grow. And I'm going to hit enter once and twice, and now you can see you have all this. So if you change this to India, you can see that only Indian states are being displayed. So that solves the state part of it. For city, it's somewhat similar to state. What you can do is you press Ctrl C to copy the formula from here, go to F14 here, and press Ctrl V and paste it here. You'll receive calc error here, which is okay because right now I don't have any states. That's why you're getting calc error here. On top of that, you're gonna have to make minor changes here. What we want is to see B3, not C2 here. So we're gonna change this to B3, and right now you can see this column, the blue and the red column, naturally moves because I'm copying from this column to that column. Make sure that you're selecting the right set of columns here, and we want column number 2 here. The formula syntax is exactly the same like I explained before. So I'm going to hit enter here. You still got calc error, mainly because you have not selected the state yet. But as soon as you select any states here, you can see this get populated. Now we can use this data for our pull down menu for cities here. Select your city, B4, and go data, data tools, data validation here. In allow, you're gonna say list, like that. And on source, like before, you're gonna click on this icon here and select the very first cell in your dynamic array. And you're gonna put a pound here like this and hit enter once and twice. Now you can see that it populates with this thing here. So now it's ready to use. I guess it's all completed. Let's do a bit of testing here. I'm gonna change the country to US. You can see that the pull down menu or the pull down drop down items has already changed. Let's say we select Florida and the cities. You can see you got US Florida city. Now if you change this to say Michigan, and you can see all the cities in Michigan.